Hi, I'm Connie Jo Holmes, the founder of Be You to Be Full Hypnosis and Coaching, where I teach individuals how to confidently and courageously move from reacting to life to owning your life. And to me, when you can identify that you're in a funk and know how to get yourself out of it and then learn and grow from that, that is the best way to learn how to actually own your life. Now, if you're a new subscriber, thank you so much for being here. And if you've been with me for a while, I really appreciate you. And once you get value out of this video, please like, comment, and definitely subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for that. So as most of my videos, I have a very personal share that I want to share with you. But it's also, I think, quite important. I think it's important for us when we have these high moments in our life, as well as the low moments in our life. I think it's really important to share that with others because we never know when we might be helping and supporting another person. And I also feel, you know, I am a coach and a hypnotherapist, and so I do know the power of our minds, and I do have tons of tools that I know how to get myself out of a funk. But despite that, I found myself in one pretty deep the last couple of weeks. I should say the last few days, last week. And I want to share that with you. So what happened was, it was over the 4th of July holiday, and it, honest to goodness, came out of nowhere. I just found myself really low. And for me, when I say low, it is low energy. I required a lot of sleep. Normally I'm good with 6 to 8 hours of sleep. But I was going to bed early. I was sleeping in longer than normal, that type of thing. And even though I was getting plenty of sleep, I was still really tired. And then on top of it, I was eating like an unsupervised 12-year-old boy. I wish I was kidding, but I'm not. And it was terrible. And so now I do know that, you know, the poor eating, as well as, you know, not feeling the best and needing a lot of sleep, that probably really went hand in hand. But as you know, when you're in a funk, you're not aware of these things. And I did kind of scour around my life a little bit and be like, what's happening? Why am I feeling this way? And I really couldn't pinpoint it on anything. And so I'm here to share the story with you, because what I ended up doing is, it took me about a day or two to notice. You know, like the first day, you're like, oh, I'm just kind of tired, and you kind of blame it on that. You know, the second day, you know, you still kind of blame it on being tired, but it's also like, I don't know, you could blame it on so many different things. And I think I did that for a couple of days. Well, then day 3 rolls around and I'm like, what is going on? I am normally not a low person. And if I am, it usually just might last like an hour or two, or maybe a day. And so what I ended up doing was I gave myself grace. I didn't judge myself. I didn't try to find a really quick fix. I just realized, wow, I am on day 3 now of feeling this way. And I sat with it for a little bit, like, what's happening? And like I said, I really couldn't figure it out or anything. And to this day, I still can't quite figure it out, but that's okay. What I ended up doing, like I said, is I gave myself grace. And then after giving myself grace, I then said, grace or no grace, I'm tired of this. Because the longer it went on, I actually found that I was getting lower and lower. And I'm like, I did not like that feeling at all. So then I told myself Sunday night, I said, that's it. I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'm putting an end to this. And I ended up going back to my healthy morning routine. And that was getting up at a good hour. And you know, for me, after I take care of my chores, I've got dogs I have to take care of, and a cat, not have to, that I get to take care of, my dogs and my cat, and then we have chickens and ducks. So after I did my morning chores, you know, then I took time for me. And I realized that when I was in that funk, I was not taking time for me. So right there was a massive lesson, like, okay, this is really important time for me. And I'm going to tell you, you know, time for you can be 5 minutes or it can be an hour. hour. It really is whatever you have time for and whatever that looks like for you. And so now today, did I give myself, my longer time frame? I didn't, just because I've got some things going on here this morning that I wanted to tend to right away. But I still took some time for me, and I already am noticing a difference with that. But then also, when I went to bed last night, I went to bed extra early on one. I was probably like still in this tired funk, but I also went to bed early because I really just wanted to lay there and to just go through my head like, why am I in this funk? What am I learning from this? And all those types of things. And I actually was able to trace it back to something. And in tracing it back to something, it was like, okay, okay. And I'm not going to judge it. I'm not going to qualify it. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to look at it and I'm going to acknowledge it. And in that acknowledgement, it's an opportunity now for me to grow because I learned from it and now I can apply it to my life. And going to bed with that knowledge in my heart was really, really helpful for me. And so, why am I sharing all of this with you? I'm sharing all of this with you because we all have high highs and low lows. And, hopefully the majority of our days are, kind of even keeled, but maybe a little bit on that higher level where and when they can be. But when you do notice that you dip down a little bit, I think it's really important to sit with it for just a little bit. Not forever, because I do think the longer we can sit in kind of an icky spot, the easier it is to stay there and the easier it is to look around like, oh, everything around me is terrible. And then that really can be a downward spiral, and we don't want that to happen. But I do think feeling through this stuff for a while is really, really important. And so I wanted to use my most recent experience as an opportunity to just share that with you. Share it with you for a couple of reasons. One, yes, I'm in this, mental health space. I help clients all the time with their mindset and goals and intentions and all those kind of things. But despite the fact that I do it for a living, I'm not immune to it. I am not immune to it at all. So I want to let you know, never feel badly when you get into a spot like this. It's human. It's called being human, and I think it can be human nature. But I think what the key is to learn and grow from it, and to not feel badly, when you get in this spot and then therefore judge yourself, beat yourself up. I did have one little learning and aha with this, and that is I am actually, it's going to be in August. It is every Wednesday in the month of August. It's going to be 4 classes. And it is a course it's titled Now What? And it is Discovering Your Next Chapter, a journey for women a journey for women who are ready to make themselves a priority. And I really think it was the same day that I hit go on this campaign and on this workshop that I'm going to host, that is when I started to feel really low. And that's kind of interesting. But last night, when I was kind of tracing it back, I'm like, oh my God, I really think that's a fact. Well, I actually chuckled to myself because I thought, thank you, universe. Thank you so much, because it really hit me hard. I'm really not exaggerating when I say I was at a low. It really hit me hard. But now that I'm on this side of it, I'm actually laughing because I'm like, you know what? The universe, I really feel, kind of kicked me so that I would feel pretty low so that I would have an opportunity to rebuild myself and stand fully back up again, so that everything I've learned and I'm continuing to learn throughout this process, I can share at this workshop. So I kind of want to ask you that too. The last time you were in a low and you recovered from it, I'm just kind of curious, were you able to almost immediately apply it towards your life in some way? Or did you have a friend who was somewhat going through the same thing and you were actually able to share your personal experience to help that person get out of the mud? Because I think a lot of times that is what happens. So, all right. So if you are somebody who, if you're going through a low, sit with it a little bit, give yourself grace. Whether you can really understand and trace back to where it came from or not, only you know that. But I think more importantly, find a learning, find a lesson from this. Use this as an opportunity to stand back up again and become strong in the process. But then also, if this course is something that might interest you for women who are ready to make themselves a priority, check out the link below for more information. All right, thank you so much. Bye.